It's almost the mentality. We don't care if you score, just give us the ball back so we can score.
It's kind of the old Chiefs mentality.
Yeah.
We're going to outscore you. And Adam Dorrell's in his third year, and
Right.
obviously 3 national championships in the Northwest. The defense will come along.
And the kick is away, and the kick is through the back of the end zone. And it's a touchback to start the game for Washburn as Trenton Brim bangs it through the end zone, and it's 1st and 10 at the 25 for the Broncos of Central Oklahoma, led out by Jet Huff, the 5'8", 190-pound sophomore out of College Station, Texas, a transfer from Houston. He'll be in the backfield with Jalen Cottrell, who leads the MIAA 929 yards, so 71 away from 1,000, leading the nation at 8.2 yards per carry. Andrew Carney in the backfield with him. Jacob Delso, Terrell Davis, the wide receiving core, and they have a twins right set. Hutt slaps the hands together and slings it to his left, and it's an immediate catch for Ashton Schumann, the 6-foot, 190-pound freshman. Dominic Dunn's the tight end, and then along the front line, left to right, Noah Dobson, Reese Trammell, Gabe Grazier, Montrell Lee, and Matt Garner. Second quick play, and it's to Dominic Dunn, and it's separating hits from Jordan Fennessy, Washburn's second leading tackler. Fennessy, a 6'1", 210-pound junior out of Plainville, Kansas. Boy, do the Broncos go quick. The linebacking core for the Ichabods, Caden Spencer, L.J. Minner, C.J. Callahan, Julius Jackson are that linebacking core for the Ichabods. We'll get the rest of the defense in a moment. Here's a little toss sweep to the right and a missed tackle early, but Terrell Davis then finally corralled and brought down on the play by DeAndre Washington for Washburn. Daniel Chavez, Chase McCoy, Almani Jemerson, Caden Ramey, the defensive front for the Ichabods. The corners are Christian Ash and Jaquez Whites. And so here we go, a third down mark, 3rd and 8 for the Broncos from their own 37.
Yeah, and that was just a little shovel pass to Davis and picked up 3. So you got a big third down play here for the Broncos. Washburn's defense so far, not too bad.
Hutt takes the snap, looks right, now comes back left, then goes middle, and a great separating hit by the Washburn Ichabods and Julius Jackson, who has 1 interception on the year mark, but that was a huge pass defended right there.
Yeah, Dunn had the ball in his hands, and Huff had plenty of time in the pocket, set up in the pocket, threw a fastball, just a slightly behind Dunn, but he caught it, but the defender for Washburn hit basically the helmet on the ball, knocked it out of his hands. Easy first down, that would put the ball into Washburn territory. Instead, the Washburn defense did what they wanted to do, was get this offense off the field. Punt for the Broncos.
Grayson Miller to punt away, averaging 45.8. Trey Richardson back deep for the Ichabods. Nice spiraling punt, and Richardson calls for the fair catch and has it in between the 26 and 27, and that's where the Ichabods will start 1st down and 10. The Ichabods led out by Sam Van Dyne, the sophomore quarterback out of Liberty, Missouri. Hurt early in the year, missed the first 4 games because of a knee injury suffered the Friday before the first game. This year, Van Dyne's thrown for 789 yards, 8 touchdowns, 5 picks. In the backfield with him is Tyler Bowden. The Ichabods have a tight end slot left. Van Dyne slaps the hands together, hands it off to Bowden. No, pulls it back, throws it down the field, has got Trey Richardson dragging across the middle of the field, and a 1st down catch for the Ichabods to the Bronco 44. Richardson, the sophomore out of Topeka and Highland Park, Hutchinson Community College transfer, 738 yards receiving this year, 18.9 per reception. Maury Sullivan, the other split receiver. Ty Weber's the tight end, left to right along the offensive line. Nick Hogan, Nate Harding, Oren Buznitz, Jacoby Harmon, and Devin Frazier for the Ichabods.
Just a post pattern, and Van Dyne put it right on the money on Richardson.
And Van Dyne hands it off on the reverse to Richardson from his right to left, and is tiptoeing his way across the 40 and down to the 39. A pickup of 6 yards for the Ichabods. It brings up 3rd and 4. For the Bronco defense, Johnny Wilson, Hunter Largent, Zane Adams along the front line. The linebacking core, Noah West, Jack Puckett, and Connor Johnson. The weak safety is Dylan Buckheit. The corners are J.K. Moore and Willie Rice. David Williams and Kobe Stevens are the safeties for the Broncos. 2nd and 4 Ichabods at the 39 of Central Oklahoma. And Van Dyne to pass. Had his receiver Sullivan maybe just slightly behind, but it hit Sullivan in the hands. He drops it. Good coverage there from the Broncos and Willie Rice, and it's 3rd and 4.
Yeah, just a backside little slant, kind of a skinny post, if you will. Got the receiver, got to the inside of the defensive back for Central Oak, and then the ball just a little behind him, as you said. That's one as a quarterback you would like to see a receiver catch that one.
3rd down and 4 for Washburn from the 39 of Central Oklahoma. Van Dyne looks right the entire time, locks in, has his receiver, and it is twisting incomplete. Intended on the play for the Ichabods and Tillin Alejos, the sophomore out of Topeka High right here in Topeka. Or excuse me, that was Chase Allen Jackman, but boy, Van Dyne had it stared right the entire time, really locked in on him, but to Allen Jackman's credit, he got open.
Yeah, no, he probably waited a count or two too long to throw it, because you're trying to throw it in between the corner and the safety over the top. You had room to get it in there. Van Dyne just waited a little bit too long to get it there.
Ichabod's going for it on 4th and 4. Richardson in motion left to right, and a handoff to Bowden, and he is hammered in the backfield. Noah West stunning from his strong side linebacker position. The senior out of Bixby, Oklahoma, and a transfer from Army, takes the ball back to the Bronco offensive side. That's the first time in 4 games that the Ichabods have not scored on their first drive.
Boy, they had some opportunities on that drive. Obviously started with the pass to Richardson, but there, 4th down and a long 4, and you try to run just a trap play, and you never got out of the backfield. That was a great defensive play by Central Oklahoma. We talked about the young offense, the senior group for the Broncos. 7 starters on defense are seniors.
Not that way on offense. This is a young offensive team. And here is Cottrell, the running back, twists his way across the 41 and maybe got the 42. We'll call it a yard. Brought down on the play by the Ichabods. Chase McCoy in there with also in on the tackle was Andre Johnson, the sophomore, who's rotating in. He's out of Mustang, Oklahoma, playing against his home state team. Here's a flare pass to the near side, caught by Cottrell.
I guess he got his jersey back.
He must have. We were told he didn't have it and that he would be wearing 14, but I guess it's Delso now that's wearing 14, so 1 is 14 on your program if you're playing along at home. So Cottrell is got the ball on the near side, stiff arms his way, and is dragged out of bounds by L.J. Minner, the sophomore linebacker out of Ferguson, Missouri, who's had a fantastic year. Leads the Ichabods with 79 tackles, 3 sacks, and a fumble recovery. But it is a first down pickup for Cottrell, Mark, and so it's 1st and 10 Broncos at the Washburn 49.
He's got 2 carries for 4 yards average. Leads the country in yards per carry, a little over 8 yards per carry.
Fake the toss sweep, and Jet Hutt is hammered right as he got across the line of scrimmage. Got a yard to the 48, but paid for it. So he faked the toss sweep and came back underneath, trying to catch the Ichabods off guard, but they stayed home in the interior of the line.
Yeah, Huff's had a great year throwing the football, but he's obviously an athlete. Go to Houston at 5'8", you've got to be athletic at quarterback.
126 yards and 2 touchdowns on the ground this year. Here's a pass to the near side, and Delso has the reception across the Ichabod 45 to the 43. So it brings up another 3rd down, 3rd and 4 Broncos. Washburn 33-yard line with 10:52 to go here in the first quarter. No score.
Yeah, Huff's got some time to throw back there. The line's doing a pretty good job. And the routes are all pretty short and quick, which is what you would think into this 20, 25-mile-an-hour wind.
There's Hutton shotgun. Slaps the hand, sets the play in motion. Hit, fumbles the ball, strip sack by the Ichabods. And Washburn says they have the football. But the strip sack and now a flag on the play, and there's going to be a flag on Elmonte Jemerson from Washburn. He got into it with one of the Broncos, and he said something, and the official immediately checked the flag. So we'll see if it's offsetting or on Washburn here on the personal foul, but it's Washburn football.
Yeah, Huff throwing to the left, so the right-handed quarterback has everything pointing to the left side of his offense. The pressure came from the right, and the defensive end just kind of reached out, swatted the ball as he was trying to throw the football and just knocked it right out of his hand. That's a big play for the Washburn's defense. 2 drives for the Broncos, no points.
Yeah, exactly what Craig Schurig would want here on Senior Day at Washburn. 19 seniors for the Ichabods that were introduced before the game. So you were going to take over right about midfield. Now you're going to take over at the 36-yard line.
You know, and it's things like that. You've won 2 games this year.
Right.
You've got a pretty good group of kids, but things happen maybe at the wrong time. That certainly got a huge offensive play. You take over in Central Oak territory. Instead, the penalty moves it all the way back to the 36.
Keller in the slot position. The Ichabods have twins stacked right. Maury Sullivan, the receiver to the left. Now Trey Richardson in the backfield empties out. So they've got 5 receivers in the pattern. Van Dyne to throw, throws it to the near side and immediately blocked back in his face. Great play by Willie Rice, the right corner who came in on a blitz. So again, they had kind of that zone blitz going. Rice comes in, and Van Dyne had the pass blocked right back in his face.
And Washburn's strategy so far on offense is to kind of highlight the wide receivers out on one-on-one coverage, throwing quick slants, hitches, getting the ball out of the quarterback's hand fast. They had the receiver open because the corner had blitzed, so you had the safety over the top to cover Sullivan, but the ball was deflected, no chance to get it to him.
Robinson, the running back, in the backfield with Van Dyne. And the fake handoff and the pass to the near side. Maury Sullivan wrestling his way across the 50, and Willie Rice gets dragged forward with Maury Sullivan, the sophomore out of St. Louis. And he gets forward progress all the way to the Bronco 48.
16 yards on the pickup, and a really good adjustment by the receiver, Sullivan, and Van Dyne read it as well because the ball was not supposed to go where it was. He saw a little opening, and he slid it more inside, and Van Dyne put it right on the money.
So the Ichabods have a 1st and 10 in Bronco territory at the 48. Van Dyne drops the ball, picks it up, maintains his composure, and now throws it far too wide for his receiver to have a chance at it. That was Tice Brown, the senior out of Shawnee Heights High School in Topeka, and just too long. But Van Dyne's timing was off there because he dropped the snap.
Yeah, kind of threw everything off a little bit. And you tend to remember, Van Dyne's just a sophomore. Hurla, the other quarterback that will play, is a redshirt freshman. So young skill players here at the quarterback position for Washburn. Van Dyne got to sped himself up like, holy cow, I dropped the snap, I better hurry it up, and he just rushed it.
He's in shotgun. Takes the snap, and this time will hand it off to Cam Robinson, and Robinson slams his way across the 45, and that's actually whether mark him down is the 45-yard line, so a 3-yard gain, and it's 3rd down and 3, Washburn.
And it
or
is
7, excuse me.
It is interesting talking to some of the Washburn coaches before the game. The idea was we're going to run the football, try to control the clock. Yet they've come out and thrown the ball way more than they have run the football, but they've been pretty conservative pass plays too. Pretty quick, get the ball out of the quarterback's hand.
So 3rd and 7, Ichabods, Bronco 45. Van Dyne has Robinson flanked to his left. That's Keller in motion. And Van Dyne's going to throw it to Keller, and Keller, looking back into the sun, the ball just slams through his hands off the chest plate of his shoulder pads and incomplete. That was open, Mark. You got to catch that.
Yeah, pretty good throw, too, especially when you got 3rd down and 7. And you've got to play. Keller catches the ball. He's going to catch it right around the 40. He's going to need to get 2 yards, but he's a big kid, 6'5". If he catches that, I think he runs for the 1st down. But if not, it's 4th and 1 maybe. You certainly have an opportunity. Van Dyne, that ball was on the money, should have been caught.
Jake Zeller to punt for the Ichabods, averaging 40.5 yards per punt this year. Points that nose of the football down and gets an end-over-end punt that hits in the end zone for a touchback. That's only the 3rd touchback by Zeller punting this year. So again, nearly 41 yards per punt. Bad result there for the Ichabods because it was very solid, but unfortunately it's 1st and 10 Broncos.
25-mile-an-hour wind at his back. I mean, he was trying to pooch it down there.
He was.
But he gets up in the wind, and the wind just sails.
And we have a timeout on the field, 9 minutes to go. In the 1st quarter, no score, MIAA Game of the Week on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Bull, Bruce Steinrock, Mark Elliott on the MIAA Football Game of the Week. William Mason, the carry out of the timeout, and he rips off 5 yards for the Broncos. Nearly 5, we'll call it 4 yards. 2nd down and 6, Central Oklahoma. 8-1 on the year, looking to push for a conference championship under the direction of Adam Dorrell, the longtime assistant and then head coach at Northwest Missouri State. Went to Abilene Christian, and then now at Central Oklahoma. Hutt to pass, now pulls the ball down, is going to tuck it and run. He's got 1st down yardage and just dives forward to the 35-yard line, and it's 1st down and 10 Central Oak. And great decision there. They're just the calmness of Hutt, Mark. And, I mean, you saw him. He looked left. He looked right. Nothing's there. The middle opened up, and he just took off.
Yeah, smart kid. I mean, he's had an incredible year. They're number 1 in the country in total offense.
Here's a handoff to Mason, who has 544 yards. He's not the guy that gets the headlines. It's Cottrell that does. Cottrell needs 71 yards coming into today to get to 1,000 yards. But here's William Mason, who has half 1,000 and a big carry there for about 14 yards.
Yeah, good size too. Mason 6'2", 215 pounds, sophomore as well. But he showed good patience before he cut it up. Good run there.
Out of Coweta, Oklahoma, and they fake the handoff to him, and the pass out to the left side, caught by Ashton Schumann.
Boy, Huff's you can see Bruce White is so good. Touchdowns, yardage, all that kind of percentage-wise, 66%.
Quick decision maker.
But he's got a really good arm and throws a real tight spiral, which when you're going into this wind is really important. But he put that right in the money for Schumann to pick up, 5-6 yards on that play.
But what you love as a coach is he makes his decision, and he doesn't take an extra count. And again, he flares the ball left side to Cottrell. And it was on the back shoulder, but Cottrell would tell you, I'm sure he'd say, I should have caught that ball, but it was just slightly behind. I'm sure if Hutt would have liked to have lead him just a little bit, but it glances it off the shoulder pad, incomplete, brings up a 3rd down situation for the Broncos.
Yeah, 5 of 8 so far for Huff. And that one he just threw a fastball to his running back. Running backs maybe aren't the best at catching fastballs 12 yards away from the quarterback.
So back to pass is Hutt to the near side, has his receiver in a 1st down, and Schumann, the 6-foot, 190-pound redshirt freshman out of Arlington, Texas, Mansfield High, who's turned out a ton of football players over the year. And it's 1st and 10, Broncos, Ichabod 39.
Yeah, another good throw. Washburn's defense secondary got a little confused. If Huff is not going to go so quick, he had a chance to take that one to the end zone. Confusion in the secondary.
Here's a handoff, Cottrell, and hitting the backfield, and the Ichabods have made a concerted effort not to let Cottrell get out the gate. And they get a tandem together to make the tackle. Daniel Chavez led the way along with DeAndre Washington for the Ichabods. No gain, 2nd and 10.
Yeah, and again, that's coming from the corner for Washburn. A really nice job by Bowden from his corner position. And you'd think Huff, when he hands off, he sees that. Hey, the corner, that's what caused the fumble earlier for Central Oak. I mean, you're going to see a bootleg here pretty soon.
Hutt in shotgun, 6 yards deep. Back 3 steps, has pressure and hammered from behind by the Ichabods. And a sack again for Washburn's defensive front. Justice Akinmullidan playing in his final home game here at Washburn, a senior out of Grandview, Missouri. That is his 2nd sack of the year.
Boy, and it came from this time from the left side of the Central Oak offense. He just beat the tackle, and Huff had no chance at all.
So a loss on the play of 5 yards, 6 yards, brings it 3rd and 10, Broncos. Hutt to throw, has a receiver near sideline, back shoulder throw. Terrell Davis sheds a defender and is into the end zone with a touchdown on 3rd down and 10 for the Broncos. That's a 47-yard touchdown pass. Jet Huff to Terrell Davis, the junior, has his 13th touchdown reception of the year.
Boy, and it was just about a 12-yard out route. Washburn had 2 defenders there, and there was a little bit of contact. Davis makes a great catch. It was a great throw by Huff, right on the money. But the defenders kind of banged into each other, and Davis showed his strength as well, and then just went down the sideline untouched. That was a play Washburn goes, there's no way that's a touchdown, and it certainly was a 47-yard touchdown.
Huff, the holder, the extra point from Nicky Quevedo, who is 54 of 58 on the year. Early movement on Central Oklahoma.
Yeah, Washburn moved, and then Central Oak moved in response.
So the question is, do
the
the officials say that the movement caused it? If you're in the neutral zone, that's a penalty on Washburn. If you're not in the neutral zone, it's not a penalty on the Ichabod. So it all depends on the eye of the line judges on whether Washburn was in the neutral zone. And it is on Washburn.
13th touchdown pass by Davis this year. And that was a play that if you're Washburn's defense, you're like, okay, we defended that pretty good. It's just going to be a 1st down. Next thing you know, he's turned it into a 47-yard touchdown. Central Oak can score in a hurry. You miss a tackle, Cottrell, he's got 4 touchdowns of over 60 yards. So this is a big play offense. There, Washburn defense have thought, hey, we've done a pretty good job defending Central Oak. They've had to punt it twice already, caused a fumble on one of those.
Broncos with the penalty, now half the distance to the goal, are going to go for 2. So Jet Huff And the offense coming back on as the ball spotted at the 1.5-yard line. They're going to go for 2 here with the encroachment penalty on the Ichabod's. The whole question was, Mark, you can move on the defensive front. You just can't be in the neutral zone, because if you're in the neutral zone and cause the offensive player to move, then it is offside on the defense. And so the officials determined that it was Washburn in the neutral zone.
The idea is the defense can do whatever they want to, just don't make contact, don't get in the neutral zone.
Right.
Offense, show your discipline to stay in
there.
I'm
telling you, I remember being on the extra point field goal team, and man, those defensive guys would do everything they wanted. Here's a handoff to Cottrell, stutter steps, and he is not going to get it. In fact, he goes backward. Great job, first by Fennessy, by the Ichabods, and then Caden Spencer and the posse came in, and the Ichabods thwart the 2-point conversion. Jacquez White a little slow to get up. 5:23 to go in the first quarter. 6-0 Central Oklahoma. We're back after this. The MIAA football game of the week on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Yeah, let's see if the officials hold
in the country in total offense. But there was a great throw by Huff, and then Davis had 2 defenders right on him, made a tough catch in traffic. The defenders kind of bang into each other. They don't wrap him up, and he just went down the sideline for the other 38 yards that capped that 47-yard touchdown. And then, of course, they went for 2, and the first time the whole game they just run an eye dive basically out of there. And, of course, do not get that. And then a squib kick into that wind, at least covered by the Ichabods. They'll be starting at their 25.
That was a knuckleball, and Trey Richardson sprinted up. He was hoping to make the catch on the fly, but it short-hopped. And instead of trying to pick up and make some kind of a spectacular play, Richardson, of course, has outstanding speed, probably one of the fastest guys in Division II, and he decided to just jump on the ball at the 25 and call it good.
Yeah, because the way it was kicked was kind of squib, so it wasn't a pure contact. So the ball then knuckleball, like an old Charlie Huff knuckleball coming at you.
So the Ichabods take over possession, their 3rd possession of the game, 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. Van Dyne, who has led the Ichabods throughout, is back at quarterback. He has Marquise.
Yeah, the challenge for the Ichabods.
Or Maury Sullivan, split to the near side.
Yeah, the Ichabods, 2 of 7 through the air, 55 yards. They've run it, and they only have 6 yards rushing so far.
And they fake the handoff to Bowden, a little underhand sling, like a sidearm pitch from Dan Quisenberry to Searcy. And the ball immediately knocked down, and that was a dangerous play. And Van Dyne knew it. He tried to pump the defender 2 or 3 times, but Connor Johnson was having nothing of it and knocked it down.
Yeah, really good play defensively by Johnson. That's just man on man, and you run a little play action and then roll, short roll. You're trying to think it's going to be a quick throw. But Johnson was right on the money, and Van Dyne threw a pretty good ball, but that was just great coverage and just knocked the ball away. Good defense by the Broncos.
So twins left and right for the Ichabods with a slot man Searcy squatted left, and here's the handoff to Trey Richardson, and dances a tackler 30-35, and Richardson sprints his way up to the 40-yard line. And Mark, when Trey Richardson gets outside, every defender knows, man, this guy can go. They've watched film, and it makes your heart skip a beat a little bit.
15 yards on that run on just the jet sweep. And you could tell Central Oaks pretty well schooled by watching film, because they were not attacking him once he turned the corner. They were making sure that it wasn't going the distance. We got to at least control him, corral him a little bit.
Yeah, and he tried to give a couple of juke moves, and you could just see they were just maintaining their lanes with very smart players there. Maury Sullivan on the flare screen to the right, and hit once and hit again, and he'll be dropped for a 4-yard loss. Wesley Hudson, the last man to bring him down, and a loss of 4, now 2nd and 14 for Washburn.
Yeah, just you kind of fake the jet sweep, then you throw it to him, and Central Oak missed a tackle, but then it was covered up. It was a pretty good run to the football there by the Bronco defense. Because the Bronco defense, I'm sure all they hear about is, hey, you got the #1 offense in the country. What are you guys doing? You guys are all seniors. They're stepping up today. Washburn has not done a lot.
No, I mean, you look at Wilson, Largent, Adams. Right now, Hudson is in there, spelling at that nose guard spot, and he made the last play. Little tip-tap motion from Cole Keller, and they try and come to Keller on the near sideline, and that ball is just slammed to the turf by Kobe Stevens, who has 3 picks already on the year. The senior free safety out of Wewoka, Oklahoma, just knocks it down. It's 3rd and long for the Ichabods.
Yeah, quick play action, throw the slant, and then the outside linebacker, strong safety, comes up and knocks the ball down because the receiver is open again. Washburn's been able to get some receivers open in those slant, skinny post type situations, but they're not very consistent because they're 3 of 10 through the air today.
3 receivers stacked to the left. Van Dyne has time and slings the ball high for Tice Brown, the senior, and that ball is incomplete. Van Dyne, again, with the wind mark, that ball took off on him.
Boy, and he had him wide open in the hash, right in the seam. And that could have been a big play. The ball was going to be caught around the midfield stripe, first down easily, but there was 20 yards of running room before he was going to be tackled, it looked like. That's a big miss there by the Ichabod offense.
Zeller to punt for the Ichabods. And back deep for Central Oak. Kobe Stevens, the deepest man. And the ball is going to bound over the head, and that was an ill-advised decision there by Jacob Delso, who was back there with Stevens, and he let the ball go, and it rolls down to the 1 where the Ichabods down it. So special teams error by Central Oklahoma, and they'll have to drive 99 yards, which they have done on a couple of occasions this year. They've driven 91 and 93 yards on a pair of drives earlier this year.
And you kind of know why he did it. It's downwind.
Right.
And typically when downwind punts land, they take off and go. And it actually landed real soft. It was like he put a little backspin on that one. But it hit the way the Ichabod punter wanted it to hit. And now the Bronco offense trying to pad their stats in total offense. They got 99 yards to go.
It was like a Mark Elliott lob wedge. The left-hander celebrating his birthday today with us here on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City.
Welcome to Medicare.
Hutt under center, I backfield, so we're going back to just more of a tight traditional set. Just one receiver split to the near sideline, Romero, and they just go a dive up the middle and trying to get some yardage. They do pick up about 4 yards on the play across the 5 near the 6. So second down and 4 and some breathing room for that Bronco offense.
Yeah, the I formation, which they ran on the 2-point conversion, gave it to Cottrell, lost yardage on that, didn't come close to making the 2-point conversion. There they just give it to the fullback, goes from the 1 out to the 5, so you pick up 4 by giving it to the first guy through.
So Cottrell back in their traditional pistol set. Hutt checks the play on second down and 6. Looks to the sideline, now has the play, slaps the hands together, hands it off to Cottrell. And a outside zone, and Cottrell taken down around the 8-yard line for Washburn, and Chase McCoy in on the tackle. Also in on the play, Daniel Chavez, and a third down and a 2.5, 3 yards for the Broncos.
Boy, Cottrell averaging over 8 yards per carry this year. Today, Washburn's defense giving him 4 carries for only 5 yards. They've not got the running game going much at all.
71 coming in to gain 1,000, and the whistles will stop this play with 2:42 to go in the first quarter, and a timeout, Central Oklahoma. So we'll keep it right here on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 and the MIAA football game of the week. We'll get you some scores around the MIAA here in just a bit with all of the other action around Division II rolling this afternoon. We'll also try and get you some scores from top 25 college football. In fact, checking the scoreboard real quick, trying to see, and I just scrolled past, but Colorado Nebraska Kearney and Missouri Southern no score that game in the first quarter. In Joplin, Northwest Missouri and Missouri Western underway with no score yet. Here, of course, it's 6-0 Broncos, 2:42 to go in the first quarter.
Now, and so far, first quarter, still a little over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. 6 first downs for the Broncos, 3 for the Ichabods. Rushing attempts, Central Oak, really Washburn done a nice job defensively. 11 rushes for the Broncos, only 25 yards rushing. Washburn, not any better, 5 carries for 18 yards. And then really the difference right now, I suppose, would be you've got an All-American wide receiver in Terrell Davis catching an out pass, tackle missed, and it turns into, instead of a 12-yard gain, it's a 47-yard touchdown. That's where we are right now. But the Broncos, Jed Huff he's got a nice arm. He's had time. Ichabod sacked him once, caused a fumble once. Sometimes the pocket's been perfectly clean. Sometimes he's been under duress, but most of the time he's been pretty clean back there. He's got a great arm.
Got Cottrell flanked to his left and flips a pass out to the near side, and the reception by Dominic Dunn, the tight end, and goes for first down yardage all the way out near the 19 of Washburn. So, again, getting the tight end involved. I mean, you hear about Terrell Davis, you hear about Delso, you've obviously got Cottrell, and then there's Dominic Dunn, Mark. He has 17 receptions on the year, and he said, don't forget about me.
Yeah, and he dropped one earlier there. Really nice run after the catch as well.
And here's the handoff to Cottrell, and we see him weave through some traffic.
Yeah, I guess he won't always run for 1 or 2.
No, he slammed his way out across the 30. And
12-yard pickup.
Yeah, 12-yard pickup, getting closer to 1,000 by the minute. And that was what I think the rest of the nation has seen and why he averages over 8 yards a carry. And here's a pass to the far side and quickly covered up by the Washburn defense, Jaquez White on the tackle of Terrell Davis.
Yeah, pickup of 3 on the play, but boy, Washburn is up tight on that throw from the left hash to the left sideline. So not a long throw, but the corner, Jackman was all over that.
Hutt in shotgun with Cottrell flanked to his left and a pass across the middle, and it was intended for Terrell Davis up the seam, and that could have been a kill shot by Jordan Fennessy. He made contact there, but he backed off because if that ball had been delivered, it would have probably been separated by number 1 in blue.
Yeah, and Davis pulled up on it too. He saw Fennessy coming. The throw was right in the seam, and but the Fennessy, the safety, the senior safety for Washburn, has really had a great senior year. He read that, came over, and Davis saw him, and he kind of pulled up.
Trips to the right. Hutt is going to be sacked. Washburn brought the heat, and the sack is made by that Washburn defense. In on the tackle, Kenny Cargill, the defensive end, who came in on that extra package. And Washburn, with some heat, brings down Hutt for the second time today on a sack. And if you throw in the fumble that was caused earlier, that's 3 times Washburn has put the quarterback down for negative yardage.
Yeah, 2 sacks and then a strip sack. Washburn defensively done. Really, you got the 1 touchdown, and it was a 12-yard gain that Davis turned it into a 47-yard touchdown.
Washburn came into today with 15 sacks total defensively and a shanked punt into the wind, and it's going to go backwards. Oh, now it actually does take a forward hop, then hops backwards, and will be touched down in Bronco territory at the 43. So off the side of the foot into the wind, Mark.
We're giving him 16.
That ball went nowhere, and Washburn, with 42 seconds left and the wind, has a chance to make a big play.
16-yard punt. Got lucky that the ball actually bounced forward, but he didn't hit it good. And then as a punter, it's kind of like being a quarterback into the wind. You know you need to throw a spiral. As a punter into the wind, you'd love to hit a spiral. He did not hit that one good at all, and then wind just beat it to death. 20, 25-mile-an-hour gusting winds out of the southwest today, or out of the south today.
Van Dyne in shotgun. He's got Bowden in the backfield, hands it off to him, and the dive play to the right goes across the 40 and to the 39. So the Ichabod's on a fairly conservative call, pick up 4 with half a minute to play in the first quarter.
Yeah, they've had the wind behind them this whole quarter. They've thrown the ball a lot. They haven't been real good consecutive. They were 3 for 11 through the air for 52 yards. But they've had some opportunities, had a couple drops, and had some missed receivers with some big play opportunities.
They do not have to run a play if they don't want to. There's about 4-second disparity between play clock and game clock. Van Dyne, with 8 seconds left in the quarter, does take the snap, flips the ball out, has Richardson, and he has just ridden backwards. And that will end the quarter. Washburn will have a 3rd and 2 when we return. After 15 minutes in Topeka, it is Central Oklahoma, the top team in the MIAA 6. The Washburn Ichabods nothing. This is the MIAA Game of the Week on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Mark Elliott with you on 38 The Spot, KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Washburn and Central Oklahoma in a battle today. It's 6-0 Broncos as we begin the second quarter. Washburn with the football on 3rd and short here. And Van Dyne, the quarterback's going to carry it, follows his lead back, Otker, and pushes his way down near the 25. And Van Dyne's a pretty good-sized kid, Mark. Check that Keller Hurla in at quarterback. And Keller is more of the RPO-style quarterback. So he'll maybe get the second quarter here. No, now Van Dyne comes back in. So Keller Hurla on 3rd and short. They put Hurla in, the redshirt freshman out of nearby St. Mary's, and he's already rushed for 249 yards and 4 touchdowns this year, and he gets 6 yards.
Yeah, really nice run. Hurla's a smart kid. His dad was a high school football coach. He played for his dad. He's a really smart kid.
So Van Dyne in shotgun, Otker in the backfield with him. And they pull the ball out and sling the pass to Searcy, breaks a tackle. Searcy breaks another, and Searcy with 9 yards on a really just a swing route to the left and bounced off of 2 would-be Broncos and has a 9-yard gain.
Yeah, missed tackle, and you said it. Searcy's strong. And I thought Central Oak played it really well. They do the little play action, quick little dump out to the fullback. Defender's right there, missed tackle, 5 yards, more yards, missed tackle, and now you got second down and short.
And this is where you could go for the home run. You're only 17 yards away from the end zone, and I think that's what was on Van Dyne's mind. Maury Sullivan had a defender who caused him to kind of check up on the route, and so not great communication there between QB and wide receiver. The ball falls harmlessly incomplete.
Yeah, and I certainly see as Hurley comes in at quarterback now, third and short. But I see what Van Dyne's seeing. He's got Sullivan with the defender 2 yards off of him. It's man-to-man. We're down here where we can just throw a quick little fade. And that's what Van Dyne had in his mind. Sullivan did not. I guess he thought he couldn't beat the guy, because he started and then stopped.
Yeah. So Hurla is in. Has Hocker flanked to his right. Now motion from Richardson, and it's a flare screen to Richardson. He could throw it because it was a lateral, but Richardson goes out of bounds beyond the line to gain. He went out right shy of the 15. The official on the far side stepped like he was a yard back, but the near side official got it correct, and it is a first down pickup for Richardson. He knew where the sticks were, Mark, and he went and got it.
Well, that's the snap was not good to Hurley, so he dropped it, picks it up, throws the lateral to Richardson. That shows his speed right there, because he just basically outran the defense to get to the corner, to get the first down. You'd like to see, if you're a Washburn fan, give the ball to number 6 as much as you can.
Yeah, and Sullivan has touched it, coming into today, 63 times, 24 on the ground and 39 through the air. Van Dyne, the lefty, slings it, and Maury Sullivan with the catch just shy of the end zone, twists his way in, and we're tied at 6 with 12:54 to go in the second quarter. What a strike thrown by Sam Van Dyne.
And that's the play that Washburn has had success. You got 2 receivers. Richardson's the outside receiver to the left, Sullivan the inside slot guy. Both of them just run post batter patterns basically, and he's one-on-one. He gets inside the defensive back. It's a really easy throw. He put it right on the money, and he walks into the end zone. 15-yard touchdown.
Zeller to hold, and the place kicker Trenton Brem, 29 of 30 on extra points this year, and make it 30 of 31. Washburn takes the lead on the top team in the MIAA, and here's the replay as we go to break. Maury Sullivan in for the first score of the day on senior day for Washburn. 7-6 Ichabots, 12:54 second quarter. Back after this, the MIAA football game of the week on 38 The Spot. Or actually, are we keeping it here? Yes, we are. We're going to keep it right here. Well, check scores in the MIAA. It is Emporia State 7, Central Missouri 3. Also Nebraska, Kearney, and Southern. That's in Joplin. No score in that game. And no score Northwest Missouri and Missouri Western battling it out today in the MIAA. And top 25 college football, Ohio State laying it to Purdue, 45-0 at the Horseshoe. Georgia Tech leads Miami 21-16, and Texas hammering Florida 42-10. That game is in the third quarter. Of course, Big 12 football today. You have just one game in action right now. West Virginia leads Cincinnati 24-21. A little bit later, Iowa State playing over at Arrowhead against KU. Colorado, Texas Tech, UCF, Arizona State. Oak State takes on TCU. BYU is at Utah tonight.
So far, the teams that we talked about the win out of the South, both touchdowns have been scored going into the win.
Yeah, fair catch is called for, and Kobe Stevens was seeing that ball go sideways on him, and he just immediately called for the fair catch. So it's 1st and 10 Broncos at their own 25-yard line. 12:54 in the second quarter. 7-6 Washburn. So, Mark, if you're Washburn, okay, you're in this game, and they've done. I mean, this is not the first time they've been in this situation. What do they have to do the rest of this half, especially?
Well, I think defensively they've done a nice job. They got 2 sacks on Huff. They have a strip sack of him as well. So basically, you got 3 sacks of the Central Oak quarterback. It'll be interesting if they if they go a little bit more downfield in this quarter now that the wind's at their back.
So Hudd in shotgun, and will hand it off. And this is the backup running back for the Broncos, William Mason, 215-pound sophomore, who, again, is coming into today and rushed for nearly 550 yards and 4 touchdowns. And he has a first down.
Yeah, 3 carries, 29 yards for Mason.
Hutt pump fakes, looks to the right and Hutt, and now comes back on the boundary and has his receiver Delso, and the senior from Okmulgee and transfer from Eastern Michigan slams his way into Washburn territory all the way to the 41.
Yeah, so you look at that play, Washburn kind of caught up on, Huff did a great job looking to his back out in the backfield, then threw it right between the linebacker and the corner.
Fakes the handoff again to Mason, has the receiver on the near sideline, and Jaden Gray, the sophomore out of Tomball, Texas, and Houston Christian, makes the reception. That's just his 6th reception of the year. Big wideout, 6'3", 180, good target, and made the catch and went down and just shy of a first down.
Yeah, so they're moving. Central Oak moving the ball really nicely in this first time with the wind at their back.
And a pass, and again a check down to Jaden Gray. Back-to-back catches for the sophomore. This time he's got the first down. Brought down on the play by C.J. Callahan, one of those Washburn seniors out of nearby Shawnee Mission West in Olathe. But quickly a first down for the Broncos, Ichabod 26. Hutt in shotgun and hands it off, and Mason is going to be hammered back down in the backfield. Good pursuit by Jaquez White in on the play for the Ichabods, along with L.J. Minner, leading tackler for these Ichabods. Came in with 79 total tackles, and that is his 7th tackle for loss. And really good movement by the Washburn defense. Andre Johnson also from that right defensive end position in as well.
Yeah, so at times Washburn has had some pretty good penetration. Cottrell's just had a couple really good runs, but mostly been held in check. Mason's one that had some bigger runs there. He had no chance. Well, he had Cottrell out of the backfield, but well covered.
Hutt again looked left, and then now they're going to call a late interference call. Terrell Davis, there was really, a lot of times in the MLAA, they do allow a lot of fighting on the routes. And this time, Caden Spencer, the senior out of Holcomb, and Terrell Davis, there was a lot of hand fighting, Mark. I don't know that it was one versus the other and one gained an advantage, but the flag is going to be on the Ichabods and first down for the Broncos.
One of the things they look for, did the receiver get turned
impeded,
by the defensive back? And I think at the kind of just a little bit of a grab maybe, that Davis and his wide receivers, they know to do a little acting as well. I mean, he kind of acted like, holy cow, he just grabbed me like crazy. I couldn't get going. That was pretty good coverage again, but you got pass interference now, 1st and 10 for the Broncos at the Washburn 16.
First down by penalty. Cottrell flanked left now, back in the backfield for the Broncos. Hutt in shotgun. And now Cottrell flanks to the right and is hemmed in the backfield. Great penetration by Julius Jackson. And Jackson with another tackle for loss. That's 2 today, 6 on the year, and a negative play on first down again.
Washburn they're kind of winning the line of scrimmage, it seems, in this first half.
So Hutt checking with the sideline, getting the play. 2nd and 12 for the Broncos in Ichabod territory at the 18. Hutt snaps.
Tight end.
Smacks the hands together, and now he flares to the right and waiting, and finally hooks up with his receiver. He was hoping somebody could get open over the top. Waited a long time to come back to Christian Ramiro, and the junior wide receiver out of Midland, Texas. Navarro Junior College has the reception.
Well, the way Washburn played that, you had the 2 receivers each side. But Carney is kind of in the slot, almost like a tight end, just outside of the tackle that time. He could have run a little post pattern, and there would have been nobody guarding him. Instead, he ran to the defender, so he would be guarded.
Hutt looks right, fires right, out of the backfield. Cottrell into the end zone after the missed tackle by DeAndre Washington, and it's a touchdown of 15 yards for Central Oklahoma. And there was Cottrell on the swing route out of the backfield, and the junior from Lexington, Oklahoma, has his 3rd touchdown reception of the year. 9:39 to go in the second quarter. It's 12-7 Broncos.
And again, it's really both teams are kind of playing the same offensive game. It's quick play action or it's a quick throw. And there, Cottrell just gets out, goes to the sideline, then runs the wheel route, and Huff hits you on the upside of that. But, I mean, it was a really easy play, and you got a really good running back, and he makes the defender miss.
Boy, Quevedo made an attempt and then went. That should have been -5 on the kicking team. The officials don't throw it. The extra point is good. He's 55 of 59 on the year. And we've got a timeout. 13-7 Central Oklahoma, 9:39 to go in the second quarter. This is the MIAA Game of the Week on 38 to hold the ball for Nick Cavado. So this is a dangerous spot right here for the Broncos, Mark. You send this ball with, obviously they got the wind, and you don't, and in fact you look where Bell and Richardson are, they're standing at about the 14 or 15. Actually Bell's all the way up to the 20, so they don't expect this ball at all. But you could get to one of these two guys, they could take it to the house.
Yeah, and you think if you're Central Oak, you're just going to kick this one out of the end zone. You don't want to give those guys an opportunity to run the football.
Yeah, 25-mile-an-hour wind. If they do kick it short, it's going to hit in the end zone and go in, but gave him a chance. But Bell is all the way back at the goal line, and the ball goes into the end zone for a touchback. 1st and 10 Washburn at their own 25. So will it be Hurla or Van Dyne? They rotated. Hurla came in on short yardage situations in the last series, and it is Van Dyne coming out of the huddle for the Ichabods. You wonder at some point in time if you don't, understanding Hurla's obviously your backup quarterback, but I mean, a kid that's got a really good athlete, do you sometimes maybe just bring him in and put him in a slot and but you got Richardson and Bell and Sullivan as well who have sprinter speed. Here's a handoff to Bowden, tries to get it outside and cuts underneath across the 25 and near the 29-yard line, gain of about 4 on first down on the little sweep play to the left.
Now, Washburn doesn't have a lot of rushing yards. Richardson's carried it 3 times for 23, so those are jet sweeps or just stand up and throw a lateral to him. Bowden, though, 3 carries for 8 yards now. But Hurla's been in twice and has been on third down situations, 3rd and short, and both times picked up the first down.
I think that was Willie Rice that went off. Looks like it may be a cramp or something in his right leg, laying down on the sideline over for Central Oklahoma. Fake the handoff. Van Dyne's pass blocked back in his face, and then he caught it when he would have been just better served slamming it to the turf. It's going to be a minus play for Washburn, -4 on the reception by Van Dyne, and the ball blocked back in his face for the left-hander.
Yeah, boy, I tell you, there Central Oak had a lot of pressure coming in, and Washburn's passes are going pretty close to the line of scrimmage, so you're not going to have much height on that throw. You're throwing line drives to those outside receivers. And, boy, there were 2 Broncos there to knock that one away. Not much of a chance.
Yeah, Marcus Soul is a 6'3" senior out of Rockwall, Texas, Southern Nazarene. He is in there rotating in along that defensive front, and he looks like he's about 6'5" in that uniform. Van Dyne looking, pumping, now looks, comes back to Cole Keller, and the tight end has it across the 35. They're going to mark him right at the 35, which is a first down because the drive started at the 25. So if you hit the 35, that's a first down. And a nice route by Cole Keller to come just across the sticks, came back to the ball, but did not retreat enough, and it's 1st and 10 Washburn.
Yeah, and that time Van Dyne did a nice job stepping up in the pocket. Central Oak had the wide. He wanted to go to Richardson on the outside or Sullivan. They were covered up, and then really nice job by the tight end coming across the middle and finding that little dead spot in there. And Van Dyne right on the money, first down, Ichabod.
Diamond set left. Richardson is the back man, and he's got the ball. He's got a blocker out in front. Keller gets loose, 50, 45, and then ridden out of bounds. And again, that Central Oklahoma defense giving ground once Richardson brought the ball, Mark, but you can see that speed. When he puts his foot in the ground and goes, he can be gone. That's a big pickup for the Ichabod offense.
Yeah, you got the 3 receivers you called out there, and Richardson just steps back. You throw the ball right to him, and the defenders are all there, and he split them. And, boy, that was a great job by Johnson. That's a touchdown. His speed is incredible.
Eventually, though, in that set, don't you let Richardson take off for the go because sometimes the defense comes up thinking they're going to step back. So here's Van Dyne, flares it out of the backfield to Richardson, stutter steps, tries to sprint forward and goes nowhere, no gain on the play, 2nd and 10. So again, they are trying to get him the ball in multiple situations there out of the backfield.
Yeah, I think if I was an offensive coach for Washburn, I'd say, all right, Trey, here's the deal. You better be in great shape because you're going to touch it maybe 40 times this game because in any one of those could go to the house. They're great coverage by Central Oak. They just run the little swing, give him the football, and there was no room to run. He doesn't need much room.
He does not. He split to the near sideline on a twin set. Here's a handoff underneath. Bowden, no contact until he got to about the 39-yard line. There is a flag that came out late from really the back judge, and he's pointing in the direction of holding on Washburn. So holding on the Ichabods after a near first down pickup for Bowden. And instead of, 3rd and short, now you're going to have 2nd and long.
Yeah, boy, Washburn's had a couple penalties. Central Oak really hadn't had any penalties that cost me anything. Washburn had the strip sack.
Right.
fumble where they took over. It would have been in Central Oak territory. Instead, moved them clear back to their own 36. Didn't do anything on that drive, but had an opportunity there. You're moving the football. First down is going to be at the 38-yard line of Central Oak. You're now ball's back on your own 42.
And Washburn averages only 56 yards in penalties a game this year, Mark, so not a team that's off to penalize. Pump fake by Van Dyne, comes back, ball tipped, picked up by Bowden, and it will be really a gain of 1 now. Is there a loose ball? Everybody's kind of diving down towards the 45-yard line, but nonetheless, it's 3rd and long for the Ichabods, 3rd and about 18.
Yeah, so they fake the swing pass to the right. Ball's on the left hash, fake the swing pass to the right, and then turn to set up the screen. Central Oak had read it beautifully, and then the ball got deflected a little bit. Bowden had to make a nice catch. By that time, the defensive backs and linebackers and defensive linemen were all over. Had nowhere to go. So a huge 3rd down for Washburn, trailing 13-7.
Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Dr. Julianne Mazicek, president of Washburn University, and with Washburn Athletic Director Lauren Ferre. That's coming up at halftime of our MIAA game of the week. 3rd and forever for the Ichabods. Van Dyne back to pass, has it down the middle of the field, and the ball delivered perfectly to Tice Brown, but then a separating hit by Noah West and incomplete. Boy, that was a beautiful pass by Sam Van Dyne.
Had plenty of time in the pocket on that 3rd down and 17 it was. Perfect time, but the safety read it perfectly. It took a while to get the ball 25 yards down the field. Right on the money, and right about the time the ball's getting into the receiver's hands, defensive back hits him, separates him from the ball. So it could have been a first down Ichabods. Instead, good defensive play. Really well executed by the Washburn quarterback. Just not able to hang on to the football.
Zeller to punt, gets it into the wind, and drives it low line drive, end over end, and it's going to go across the 10. It's going to go across the 7 to the 5, and inside the 5 is where the Ichabods touch it down. 1st and 10 Broncos at their own 4. So great punt by Jake Zeller, and inside the 20 mark for the 10th time this year.
Yeah, I think punt returners today, if you're catching the ball and the ball's being punted into the wind at 20 to 25 miles an hour, you're trying to make a decision. Can I go up and make that catch, or can I let it hit the ground? And that time they decide, and you don't want to turn it over. Like, who cares where we are? We can start on 0-1. Our offense can go 99 yards. Let's don't have a turnover catching a punt. So if you're unsure, let it land. We'll just take the ball and go from there.
And exactly what the special teams coach would tell you as well. So Hutt with Mason Williams in the backfield with him, or William Mason, in the backfield this time for the Broncos, and a pass wide open. Dominic Dunn, again the tight end. He's kind of gotten forgotten a couple of times. He's got, 3 receptions on the day, and there he picks off 12 yards on 1st down.
Yeah, right on the money, too. I tell you, this offense is good, and if Huff has time, boy, he can survey the land side, and, boy, he made a great throw to Dunn right on the money.
Yeah, great clock in his head, and then, again, a quick pass out to the right, and Jacob Delso, the senior.
Well, you look at he's 15 of 20 at this point in the game. I mean, really accurate. And they're going 10, 12 yards at a time.
But he makes decision. Mark, you just see the clock and the timing in his head. He has a great feel for the offense. He knows where his guys are. And, again, a quick snap. He looks right. He looks left. He looks middle. Now he's dancing out of the pocket, and he's going to tuck it and run. Cuts back, spins across the 35. And a broken tackle gets him to about the 37-yard line.
8 on that.
Yeah, nice run.
Yeah, and he had a chance to get him in the backfield. Washburn missed the tackle. That was a pretty strong run, really, by Huff there to break that tackle, because it would have been about a 5-yard loss. Instead, he turns it into an 8-yard gain. Now you got 2nd and 2. 4 minutes left in the first half. You got plenty of time
with the wind.
Yeah.
Trips right, 1 receiver flanked left, and that's Schumann. And Hutt looks left immediately for his back out of the backfield, has pressure, and will not dance tacklers this time. Great job by the Washburn defense, and just a great flood in there by Washburn and Cam Robinson.
So basically the 4th sack of the game by the Washburn defense in his first half on Huff. And that time he had his back out of the backfield. I thought he was going to go there. Then he was really looking more in the middle of the field, so he missed his running back that was open right out of the gate. And by that time, the pocket had collapsed. So the Ichabods going with the dime package, 6 defensive backs in. Hutt looks left, comes back right, goes middle, hit as he throws the ball. It's incomplete. Christian Romero, the intended receiver, but Washburn with all those extra defensive backs had things cover up and got pressure
on Jet Huff.
Yeah, it ended up being a good read by the quarterback, Huff. You're just running you kind of cleared out the far side of the field, ball towards the left hash. So you got the wide receiver to the far side of the field just running a little square in. He had him, but right when he got ready to throw it, he got hit. So the ball skips into the receiver because of the pressure by the Washburn defense.
Trey Harmison and DJ Bell back, so Trey Richardson getting a break on special teams this time. And the snap is back, the punt for Grayson Miller, and he spirals it into the wind, and Bell just falls down and makes the catch. The whole thing was secure the ball, and that's exactly what he did. 1st and 10 Washburn at their own 24. DJ Bell seeing that ball spiraling, he's like, just catch it, just catch it, just catch it, and that's exactly what he did.
See, that was my issue 40 years ago. How many years ago? 83 was my last year, so 41 years ago, I guess. But throwing the ball downwind was like that punt. The ball never turned over. It spiraled, but the toe stayed up in the air, and then it's just kind of sliding along the wind. You never get it to turn over, and that's I never could figure that out as a quarterback, how to get it to turn over downwind.
From spiraling to Medicare, all right here at Washburn. Here's a handoff to Tyler Bowden, and Tyler Bowden, nice job through traffic on the left side of the offense, and slams his way across the 30 out to the 31, a pickup of 6 on first down.
Yeah, Bowden's had a few good holes to run through. He's really been his game's kind of turned on a little bit. I think DJ Bell going over to the defensive side's giving him a lot more opportunities.
Trey Richardson is split to the near sideline. Sullivan flanked left. And here again a handoff to Bowden, bounces off his own running back, and as his forward progress moved forward on the tackle for a first down. And Hunter Largent, the nose guard, 6'2", 345 out of Noble, Oklahoma mark, and this guy can move.
Yeah, they marked him just short, though.
Oh, wow.
Of the first down, so about a half a yard to go, maybe a full yard.
I don't know how that happened. I mean, he threw him forward, and he was across the 35, but they're going to mark him at the 34.
So I think they're just going to go to the 2-minute timeout is what they're going to do.
It is the 2-minute timeout of the first half. Central Oklahoma 13, Washburn 7. We're back after this timeout. This is the MIAA Game of the Week on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Washburn 7. Mark, maybe not the offensive explosion we anticipated thus far.
No, both teams have moved the ball a little bit, but we've had probably way more punting than we expected, certainly.
Certainly the wind is a factor, and here's a fake handoff to Trey Richardson and Keller Hurla. The quarterback, the short yardage quarterback today, just decides, okay, I'm going to take this, and slams his way across the 35 out to the 36. Great heady play by the sophomore Keller Hurla.
Yeah, 3rd and 1, he runs for 3. 3rd and 2, I think before he ran for 9. So he's had 2 third down carries, and now he's going to stay in the game. We haven't seen him on a first down yet.
Have not, but we will now. Richardson in motion, and they hand it off to Richardson, and way too much penetration by the defensive front by the Central Oklahoma Broncos, and Dylan Buckheit was the first man to get there. Willie Rice there as well, but man, great penetration by the Broncos.
Yeah, and they gave Hurla one play, and it was, I think they were hoping that they'd say, well, Central Oak says, well, Hurla likes to run the ball. He's going to keep it. He gave it, and they were ready for Richardson.
Van Dyne to the near side and has Richardson up in the air, and he's got the ball to about the 48 or 9. That's a first down for the Ichabods. That ball hung up there a long time. Trey Richardson was just hoping to not get blasted.
120 yards through the air for Van Dyne. He's hit 11 of 21 through the air. Richardson's, 5th catch of the day.
Twins right. Van Dyne back to pass. Slings it over the middle and has his back out of the backfield. Connor Searcy, the senior out of Tonganoxie. 55 seconds to play in the half. A timeout called by Washburn. One of their 3 that they have remaining. 13-7 Central Oklahoma. Hope you're enjoying the MIAA Game of the Week here on 38 The Spot in Kansas City and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Updated score, Central Missouri 17, Emporia State 14. So more of a shootout there between the Mules and the Hornets down in Emporia. 17-14. Central Missouri, that game is in the second quarter, and the other games have yet to start. Southern hosting Kearney and Northwest at Missouri Western.
And obviously, this is a big time of the year for an Emporia State, 20th in the country. Can they get into the NCAA Division II playoffs? Obviously, Central Oklahoma has not been in the playoffs since 2003, and Adam Dorrell at Northwest, 3 national championships. Right. He's like, come on, let's just get to the playoffs, then we can go. And right now, everything's in Central Oklahoma's control. You win out. You beat Washburn today. You win at home against Emporia State. You are in the playoffs. You probably get to host a first-round game as well.
Well, how big is it, though, for the Broncos? I mean, you got a head coach that knows what it is to win national championships. He did it as an assistant under Mel Churchma. He did it as a head coach, leading that same program. Didn't have the success he certainly wanted down at Abilene Christian. But, man, if you're the Broncos, you start to believe in this guy, and the sky's the limit because they're in one of the great recruiting beds for college football. Here's a swing pass to Trey Richardson, breaks a tackle. Richardson weaving his way across the 40, stutter steps and out of bounds, stopping the clock at the Bronco 37.
15 yards on the pickup, and it could have been, what would you say, a -3?
Yes.
3 pass, because they defended it really well, but the tackle not made, and Richardson just shows his speed, and he's actually pretty amazing. The question is, can Washburn get him to come back? He's just a sophomore.
Well, some
schools might be recruiting him.
Cameron Babb has him on track and field and hopes to maintain him for a long time. Willie Rice with that missed tackle there for the Broncos, and he was kicking himself all the way back to the huddle. Here's a handoff up the middle, Cam Robinson, and he is across the 35 down to the 34, and the Ichabods will call a timeout. So they were trying to see if the Broncos would take an inside handoff or would they not cover it, and they covered it, only a gain of about 3.
And Washburn's because of the wind, I mean, you're not in field goal. Your ball's at the 34-yard line. You're not in field goal range with this wind in their face. It started the day. We were at 61 degrees at kickoff with the wind coming at, 20, gusting up to 26. We'll see if it's changed at all.
Old Glory in the north end, Mark, is straight out, and meteorologists will tell you that typically is a 25-mile-an-hour wind. It's all so.
It says 16 gusting to 27 is what it is right now.
But it's 63 on November the 9th. How many times on your birthday have you had weather like this?
In November, though, because it's my birthday, the weather's usually nice, so I can go play golf.
We got him off the course today, folks, to celebrate the MIAA game of the week and the final home game.
I said, what? The number one offense in the country's coming to town? Yeah, I can come watch that. Yeah, absolutely. And Washburn's defense has played really, really well. You got really the touchdown by Terrell Davis to start this thing, 47-yard touchdown. It was
broken
a 12-yard out.
Yeah.
And he broke tackle and sprinted the final 38 to the end zone. And then a great drive by Central Oak to add on another score, hitting Cottrell out of the backfield. But Washburn's answered, so we're in a one-score game. Washburn opportunity maybe to take the lead before half.
They could. Richardson in motion comes back to the near sideline. Van Dyne in shotgun, pumps again, has Maury Sullivan on a tipped pass, and Sullivan spins his way out of bounds at the 25. Not only did he get the first down, but he got out of bounds to stop the clock with 37 seconds to play in the half.
About 150 yards throwing for the sophomore southpaw for the Ichabod, Sam Van Dyne. I've got him at 14 of 24 for those 150 yards. Sullivan, with his third catch, will give him 9 on that one.
And that ball was tipped, Mark. Great job in concentration by Sullivan to get it, and you saw it there on the replay. Maury Sullivan making a great catch.
Richardson has, 6 catches for 75. Sullivan now 3 for 50.
Cam Robinson in the backfield now. Fake handoff to him. Van Dyne loading up now. Flush from the pocket to his left, running. And he will throw the ball, but out of bounds. Incomplete. Willie Rice on the coverage there for Central Oklahoma. They were looking for the tight end drag to Ty Weber, but it's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And there's a difference there, just athletically. Probably Jet Huff, if he's in that position, he's going to run. Yeah. He's going to run for the first down. Van Dyne's like, I don't think I can really outrun these guys. Let's just throw it out of bounds. Well, and it's first down. You can throw it away like that, stop the clock.
But also, Mark, he had the torn MCL early in the season, four games. Yeah. So Sam Van Dyne, again, with a knee that's still healing, will probably need some off-season surgery, decides to just go ahead and chuck it out of bounds. Rolls to his left, pumps again, comes back to the middle of the field and has his receiver Tice Brown, but it's short of the first down. Clock rolling, 21 seconds to play in the half. The Ichabods will spend their final timeout. 21 seconds left in the second quarter. Central Oklahoma, as you see, leading 13-7. And so Craig Schurig and the Ichabod coaching staff taking their final timeout. And right now you're 3 yards from a first down. You're in between 18 and 17 yards from a touchdown. What are you calling here?
You know, and it's really interesting with no timeouts. Now you've kind of limited. But if you get a first down, you stop the clock, you spike it, so you can still play the middle of the field because you're going to get a first down if you do that. If you pick up 4 yards, you've got a first down. You can spike it, and now you still got time. Maybe you'd have 17, 16 seconds left, but it's only second down, so you got time to take some shots at the end zone. But with no timeouts, you can't really get tackled on the 5 if it's not a first down because you're going to maybe only get one more play out of that. So the key is try to give yourself 3 plays out of this at least, I think, coming down the stretch here. The key is probably try to get this one to the first down marker. I don't know if you'd run the ball. You certainly could if you're pretty confident you get a first down.
Well, you really have to influence to one direction, the defensive line. Right now you got 5 guys up on the stacked on defensive front. Keller in tip-tap motion at the near sideline. And Van Dyne throws for the end zone to Tice Brown. He leaps up, makes the catch, but didn't have enough real estate to get a toe in bounds. Coverage on the play from David Williams, the junior out of Lorena, Texas. And the Ichabods are bringing on the field goal unit.
It's fourth down is what it yeah, there you go. You have no choice there. That was a pretty good throw. Great job by Central Oak because the receiver jumps and you just ride him out of bounds so he lands out of bounds. There's no chance to stay in bounds on that.
So here for the field goal try is Trenton Brem out of the hold of Jake Zeller, the punter. The long snap is Preston Michael, and the ball is
35-yarder. Nothing.
Not good, and that will give the Broncos the ball back with 10 seconds to play in the half. So,
and it's kind of a challenge as a kicker.
Right.
You're like, okay, it's 35 yards.
I got to drive it.
25-mile-an-hour wind. I got to drive it. So you're going to hit it a little bit lower. He hit that lower than he wanted to. That didn't come off the way he wanted to.
And Brem this year is now 2 of 9. He's hit a 37 and a 42. He has missed from 43, 27, 44, 46, 39, 43, and now 35. And the Broncos more than likely will just kneel this down and take it to halftime with a 6-point advantage. In a game we thought would be more of a shootout, it has turned into more of a defensive battle in the first 30 minutes. What will the second 30 minutes hold?
I think you've got to give credit, too, to both defenses.
Yes.
Really coming up with some really nice plays. Washburn's got 4 sacks, including a strip sack fumble. So the defense has done a pretty nice job for Washburn against this high-powered Central Oklahoma team. They got the 1 turnover on the strip sack, but other than that, it's been more of a – they've moved the ball. Both teams have moved the ball.
Right.
But they're not getting to the end zone.
But think about this, Mark. The Broncos average nearly 49 points a game. The Ichabods average nearly 25. So you would say the game is more in Washburn's favor now.
Try not to give up big plays. They really haven't. You know, you think Cottrell's got, 4 touchdowns of over 60 yards. Davis has the 47-yarder, but it was a 12-yard pass. Then he broke a tackle and then sprinted the other 38.
Grayson Miller to kick away to DJ Bell and the dangerous Trey Richardson. 13-7 Broncos as we begin the second half of this MIAA game of the week, and the ball off the tee. And so they'll have to have the obligatory holder for the Broncos. And coming in to hold is Dalton Hurd, as he did before. Now the officials are saying they can not have the holder unless it falls off the tee a second time.
And you would think there is no way this ball is going down the left side of the.
No,
there's no
that would
way
be
to
at
kick
Trey
it.
Richardson.
Yeah.
So here is Grayson Miller set to kick away for the second half. Washburn starts with the ball, and it's a low-line end-over-end kick, and it did hit up one of the up men. Otker picks it up at the 27, retreats, gets maybe to the 28, and then slammed to the turf, and there is a flag that comes hailing in.
That's a 20-yard throw into the wind by the official. That weight on the end of the penalty flag made it sail a long way.
Wow. And he went and marked it 4 yards back. So what would the call be? I was watching where the play was finishing, and then you pointed to the flag, and it just came hailing in.
You'd think it'd be a holding of some type on
Washburn. Which is silly. Why? Yeah. The ball was touched early, so what are you holding for? So instead of decent field position and the ball, now it's not great field position for the Ichabods on the hold on special teams. So not a lot of penalties.
They'd have been just shy of the 30-yard line. Now they go back all the way to the 18.
Fifth penalty for the Ichabods. Broncos have not yet committed a foul. So Washburn, 5 penalties, 52 yards, which is about the average for them on the game this year. Here's a handoff to Bowden up the middle, and he is ridden down by Zane Adams, the defensive end on the right side of the defense, and maybe a yard on first down. Washburn wants to get off 3 out of the last 4 games. They have scored on the first drive of the second half. They had scored in 4 consecutive first drives of the game. That was thwarted today. They really need to make something positive happen here.
And they have not done it on the ground. Bowden now only has 16 yards rushing on 6 carries.
High snap. Van Dyne pulls it down, and now he slings it, and goodbye. Trey Richardson, 30, 20. Nobody will catch him. Bends it into the end zone, and that would be 6 points the easy way. Get it to Trey Richardson and let him run.
81 yards, and that's the play they've been running. Sullivan's caught it. Richardson's caught it. Just a little post route, and there was no safety in the middle of the field, so when Richardson caught it, it's just a race, and that's pretty easy. There's nobody going to catch him. So 81 yards. They gain 1 on the ground, and then they go 81 through the air on a really easy throw. And Central Oak had trouble with that basic route in the first half.
And the extra point by Brem is up, and it is good out of the hold of Zeller. And we are 44 seconds into the second half, and the Ichabod strike quick on a 2-play drive, and they lead 14-13 here on the MIAA Game of the Week. Wow. That was electric.
Yeah, that's Richardson. I mean, that's the idea. You want to get him the ball as much as you possibly can, but you go 58 yards on his 5 catches in the first half. But he had 35 yards, Bruce, after catch on those 58 receiving yards. So there, the ball was at the, 81, so it was at the 19-yard line. So he caught it maybe at the 40, So he went 60 yards after the catch. I mean, and never got touched on that route. And Central Oak really had trouble stopping both Sullivan and Richardson on those little square ends.
Well, we've seen them slow play the wideout, Richardson especially, but we've seen them really slow play that. Give them space and then make the tackle and not let them get out the gate. So a quick strike by the Ichabods. They lead 14-13, 14-16 to go in the third quarter. Again, Emporia State and Central Missouri just getting ready to start the second half. The Mules lead the Hornets 24-14. Kearney up 7-0 on Southern, and Northwest leads Missouri Western 6-3 in the first quarter. In the other games in the MIAA going on right now, we'll keep you updated on those scores and top 25 college football. But we hope you're enjoying the MIAA Game of the Week here on 38 The Spot and KOCB 34 in Oklahoma City. Although we know we've got watchers around the nation, former teammates of Mark Elliott chiming in from Harlingen, Texas even. There's a kick away, and that's going through the end zone for a touchback. But, of course, the MIAA Network online, which you can subscribe to. And so we know we have folks from both sides, UCO and Washburn, watching around the nation.
You think about Washburn had their only score in the first half to take a 7-6 lead. Central Oaks scores in 3 minutes and 15 seconds after that to retake the lead. So that's kind of Central Oaks going, okay, well, we got to go. And I think, Coach Dorrell has coached against Washburn for a long time. He did it certainly in Northwest, now his third year at Central Oak. Washburn's always got pretty good athletes, and it's can they finish the game. This year, they have not been able to finish the game. They have led a whole bunch of them in the second half.
Chet Huff in at quarterback again for the Broncos, and he'll hand it off. And Cottrell, the leading ground gainer in the MIAA, the leading per-yard rush average in the nation, feels his way across the 29 out to the 30 and has 5 yards on first down. And Cottrell needed 71 yards coming into today to go over
20.
1,000.
He's got 20 now, so he needs 51.
A little ways to go, and a swing pass to Cottrell out of the backfield. And he's got just shy of the first down. Great open field tackle by L.J. Minner, the linebacker leading the Ichabods in tackles, just a sophomore out of Ferguson, Missouri, Mark. And, man, that was a strong tackle.
Yeah, and that was kind of the touchdown play. But then you're in the 15-yard line going in. Now you're in the middle of the field, so Washburn covered that really well.
Snap back to Hutt. Third down, looks left, looks right, comes back to the middle, and it's going to be short of the first down on the drag route by Jacob Delso, but an excellent tackle by DeAndre Washington.
So he does get the first down. That was a pretty good catch.
Oh, they gave him the first down.
That was a pretty good catch, too. Got right to the marker, and they give him the first down.
Well, I thought he was tackled at the 29, hadn't made the 30, but here's a quick pitch sweep and tackled behind the line of scrimmage is Cottrell, loss of about 3. And you see a host of Ichabods there, including Jordan Fennessy, the safety.
Yeah, and they kind of made that look like it was going to be an option. Huff, we've not seen Huff run an option at all. He just took a couple steps and just tossed it to Cottrell, but Washburn covered that really well, took up a couple yards on first down.
Trips right, Hutt back 3 steps, now fires to the near sideline, and it was picked off all the way underneath. Never saw Julius Jackson, and he'll return it to the Bronco 29-yard line. There is a flag laying at the 37.
Well, this is a big penalty. I mean, Washburn would be inside the 30 if it's their football after the interception of Central Oaks territory.
Well, he never saw Julius
Well, he's
Jackson
trying to throw a fastball in between
right.
the corner and the safety, and the corner that time did a great job of trailing the receiver. Yeah, he kind of kept going. He didn't settle at 5 yards off the ball. He kept kind of drifting down the field, and Huff tried to throw a fastball in between them. And great job by Washburn there getting that pick.
So a personal foul on Washburn on the return on a crackback block. It didn't catch the number of the infraction, but it's still Washburn football, but they'll march it back 15 yards from about the 37. So this is going to be in Washburn territory at the 47-yard line. They're going to mark it. 12:37 to go in the third quarter, 14-13 Ichabods. But they have the ball mark and the wind, and with Trey Richardson, do you just go deep and let him go?
Yeah. And the last time they got the strip sack of Huff,
right?
Remember they had the penalty that moved them from Central Oak territory all the way back to their own 41-yard line, 36-yard line. So both times they got turnovers, they've had penalties.
Here's a handoff, Richardson, reverse. Now they flip it back to Van Dyne, and they come back to Trey Richardson. Good night. Another touchdown for the Washburn Ichabods. This one from 53. So 81 plus 53 equals a 20-13 Ichabod lead.
So they run the reverse and then double reverse it and then toss it back to the quarterback. And I thought he was going to go to Sullivan. Sullivan was open down the far sideline. Instead, he came right back to Richardson, who they tossed it to on the reverse. He tossed it to another receiver, and they go back to the quarterback. He caught it at the 30. And there's Central Oak guys down at the 10, 15. You're like, there's no chance they're going to get him.
No.
He didn't come close.
Zero chance. Brem on for the extra point out of the hold of Zeller. He drives the ball low line drive, and it's good. 12:27 to go in the third quarter. 21-13 Washburn. And do we need the timeout here on the game of the week, guys? I'm not sure if we're needing to take the timeout or if we are not.
Yeah, pretty good way. You said, what's the key to this game? I guess get it to number 6 and let him go.
Every time.
81 and 53-yard touchdown
Look at
passes.
this replay, and look how he finishes, jumps into the end zone. And
what's he run the 40 in, like 4.2 or something?
Probably 4.3. I mean, he's a guy in high school, Mark, ran a 10.4 500 as a senior in high school. So he's again sub 10 now in the 100-meter dash, or right around that. I mean, he has amazing speed, and it is one of those things that when you turn on the film gets every attention. We do need to take a timeout. 21-13 in favor of the Ichabods on the MIAA Game of the Week. That is in the third quarter, so a couple of shootouts now underway in the second half.
And those are big plays. You get an 81-yard touchdown by Richardson, and then a 53-yarder on the double reverse throwback to the quarterback. Richardson's so fast. And Central Oak, I mean, they had a pretty good feel for him in the first half. He had a pretty nice first half running and catching, but they were kind of bracketing him, trying to not let him get past him. Boy, these two, they throw the post pattern, nobody's behind it. He beat the safety or beat the corner off the break, and then went 60 yards untouched for that 81-yard touchdown. This one was double reverse, throw it back to Richardson all by himself on the sideline. He's like at the 30-35 of Central Oak when he catches it. And there were guys that were 20 yards down the field for Central Oklahoma's defense, and they had zero chance to get to the sideline before he got to the end zone.
Yeah, it is sprinter, world-class speed from Trey Richardson. And the Ichabods love having him, no question. And here's a -5 on illegal procedure.
Terrell Davis got a good start, though.
He did. He was ready to go. He was like, hey, Richardson's doing that. I want to show you what I got. Because Terrell Davis, Mark, leads the nation. 1,117 yards. He's got a touchdown today, so 13 total on the year. I mean, this guy can fly himself.
Yeah, he's got his 47-yarder in the first quarter, the touchdown for Central.
And he beat a couple of Ichabods. I mean, it was impressive, and then up the sideline.
Yeah, once he got by them, they were not going to catch him
chance.
either, that's for sure.
1st and 15, handoff to Cottrell, breaks a tackle at the line of scrimmage, and check, that's William Mason. And Mason slamming his way up across the 30-yard line. That was a strong run from the sophomore.
Yeah, Mason's kind of been the running back that's had some success compared to Cottrell. Cottrell's got 8 carries for only 23 yards. That's an 11-yard pickup, 35 yards now rushing for Mason.
Hutt in shotgun. Mason flanked to his right. Back 3 steps, looks left the entire time, locks in,
got a little
and
whiplash.
has a receiver,
Good
and the
catch.
receiver got whacked.
That was Davis.
That was Terrell Davis on the catch, and the tackle immediately by Jaquez White.
13 yards on the pickup, first down Central Oak.
As I was an offensive lineman, I never knew what that would feel like, but that has to feel like a train wreck coming.
Yeah, you could see when he got hit, and he jumped to catch it,
Yeah.
and then just whiplashed the neck.
Hutt, again, pump fakes, comes to the far boundary and thought his receiver was hooking up. Ashton Schumann didn't hook up. He was going on the go, and it's incomplete, 2nd and 10.
And he got his arm hit again. So Washburn's been able to put some pressure on. Central Oak's the only team with turnovers in this. First quarter, you had a strip sack. Washburn got the strip sack on Huff. And then you have the interception on this first possession of the second half for Central Oklahoma, which has now allowed Washburn to go up by 8, 21-13.
Updated score, Southern leads Kearney 14-7. That game in the first half, and there's a pass again wide for Schumann. And Hunt let that one fly, had a little bit of pressure to his right, but I don't know that he stepped well into that ball. He kind of stepped to his left as he's throwing, and that ball really got away from him.
Yeah, so now you got 3rd and 10 for Central Oak, and obviously all the momentum is with Washburn right now. This is kind of a big third down.
It is.
For the MIAA leading Broncos.
Well, and especially with the Ichabod still showing with the wind, they're going to go deep. Now Hutt sets, has time, now flush to his right, going to pull the ball down and run, and he's tripped up. Great play by the Ichabods. Andre Johnson, the sophomore out of Mustang, Oklahoma, makes the tackle on Hutt. He gains just 3 yards, and it's 4th down.
Yeah, and a really good job, I think, because Huff made a great move actually out there. It looked like he was going to get by, but he couldn't. So pick up of 3 on 3rd and 10. So now the ball's at your own 47. Central Oak will be punting into the wind. So Washburn, in theory, could have pretty good field position after this one.
DJ Bell, who's dangerous. He's out of Georgia, Alma, Georgia, in fact, just a sophomore. Started the year in the wide receiving core and is now at defensive back because they needed the help after injury. Bell makes the reception at the 10, retreats to the 5, trying to break a tackle, stumbling. He'll get back to the 5-yard line. So DJ Bell wanting to make a big play, did not, and it's 1st and 10, Washburn at their own 4.
Yeah, he caught it at the 10. That was a really good punt into the wind. And DJ catches at the 10, then goes backwards. Because there was pretty good coverage. He thought he could outrun him. He could not.
Well, that's
so
one
now
of those,
Washburn's back in a hole.
One of those, Mark, where sometimes you're just better served to put your foot in the ground and go forward rather than trying to go laterally.
And you certainly see that a lot on punt returns. Because punt returners know they're kind of in – it's just them.
Oh, yeah.
Good luck.
It's one-on-one.
Yeah,
break a tackle, and I got to make a play.
Yeah, you got to make people miss, and that time it didn't work out.
Pistol set with Bowden behind Van Dyne, who's standing in the end zone. It will be a handoff to Bowden on the near side and breaks a tackle out across the 10 to the 15, and he's thrown forward to about the 18-yard line. It's a first down pickup for Bowden, and Washburn out of the shadow of their goal line.
Yeah, that's a 15-yard run. They end up marking it clear up to the 19. And then Bruce, it didn't look like he had anything off the left tackle, but Central Oak never wrapped him up, and he just kept going.
Yeah, good run by Tyler Bowden, a junior out of nearby Tonganoxie, grew up in Lawrence, went to Tonganoxie High. So Van Dyne sends Richardson in motion. Searcy, flanked to the right, says something to Richardson as he jogs by. And Van Dyne going to hand it off. Bowden again up the middle. And just a good push by the offensive line that time, a quick 4 yards. And the Ichabods, who by this time in their first 2 drives had a touchdown. Now this is the 4th play of this drive, and they have 2nd and 6.
Yeah, those were very quick scoring strikes, those 2. Were they both on 2nd down, the 81-yarder and the 53-yarder? Yeah.
Yeah, that was big. So here is Bowden flanked left of Van Dyne in shotgun. Twins to the right. Here's a handoff, and again Bowden up the middle, across the 25, near the 26, and it brings up third down. So this is more of what the Ichabods thought they wanted to do coming in, Mark, and that was run the ball. And with a lead, and now an 11 or what, an 8-point lead, excuse me, bad math. You have a one-score lead. They're trying to run some clock.
Yeah, and certainly this is not a time to sit on it and be happy you're up 8 on the conference leaders. You got to keep going.
Well, and that's the thing. You can run it in the fourth quarter when you have a multiple score lead. Here's Van Dyne. He's got a receiver, wide open pass to Tice Brown, and Brown breaks a tackle and spins forward to the 37-yard line. Tackle on the play by Dylan Buckheit, but a great pass by Van Dyne to Brown.
Yeah, really well executed pattern, too. You had 2 or 3 receivers out there, and Brown's the one that kind of broke it off to the flat, and the other defensive backs kind of drifted down the field. So he was basically unguarded when he caught that one.
Again, are you going to respect speed? So that's what they're doing. They're drifting with the speed, and that gave Brown the break underneath. Now motion to the near sideline on the jet sweep, and the ball's loose, and did the Ichabods get back on top of it? The Broncos point they had it, but Washburn has the football. That was dangerous for the Ichabods, Mark, and that was a near turnover deep in their territory. Trey Harmison on the jet sweep.
Yeah, and he bobbled the handoff on the jet sweep, and then when he's bobbling it, he re-ran. The ball didn't come with him. He had to go back and get it. So really a lucky break for Washburn that he was able to get onto it, because if the ball's at the 33, he would have given Central Oak, obviously, great field position.
Harmison -5 on the play. So now the Ichabods second and long. And they're going to run it with Bowden. He's got a blocker, and he gets outside, and Tyler Bowden showing speed, strength, and he has the ball across the Washburn 45.
Yeah, 12 yards, 13 yards on the carry. Bowden didn't do a lot, didn't have a lot of opportunities really in that first half. 15 yards carried on 5 carries. But now he's up around 50 yards rushing in this game.
But it gives you, Mark, 3rd and 2, and you're near midfield. You know, again, data would say this is a 2-play drive. You've given yourself a chance to run what you want here.
Yeah, from 1st and 15, then you just run an off-tackle play, and you pick up 13 of the 15.
Motion from Searcy, and Hurla in. Speed option to Richardson, breaks a tackle, has the corner turn. He's loose. He's at the 30, cuts it back 20. Good night. Trey Richardson has rocked another touchdown potential, but there is a flag laying back at the Bronco 42.
Adam Dorrell signaling. It's holding as he looks over to the press box area. Holding, and he points Washburn's way. The flag's on the Bronco 42, 43
Where it is,
line.
though, it's first down, and then the flag. Yeah. So Washburn gets the first down, but it'll be first and whatever.
And I'm going to say 80% of the running backs in this league would have lost yardage on that play. It looked like Richards was going to get caught in the backfield. Yeah. He outran that guy, turned the corner, and then nobody had a chance to catch him. That's amazing.
Again, they say that's what speed do.
That is what speed do. Because once you saw him turn it up the field, you're like, well, he just might outrun everybody.
Yeah. So
and he went all the way across field from the right sideline all the way to the left corner of the end zone. I mean, nobody got close to him.
Oh my gosh, the penalty makes it 3rd and 1. So again, the penalty was 9 yards past the line of scrimmage. We've got a timeout. We'll take it. 6:42 to go in the third. Washburn 21, Central Oklahoma 13. This is the MIAA Game of the Week on 38 The Spot. KOC in the third quarter on the MIAA Game of the Week with Mark Elliott. I'm Bruce Steinbrock, former Washburn quarterback back in the early 80s and former draft pick of the Los Angeles Dodgers back in his heyday out of Silver Lake, Kansas. Here's a handoff. Cam Robinson, the running back this time, and he's hit at the line of scrimmage. Washburn offensive line, that was again a mark. Your play side guard and tackle pulled, and they got no push, and there was no gain on the play by Cam Robinson because the Broncos did a great job scraping down the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, and Hurla, the redshirt sophomore quarterback, has run it 3 times on 3rd down, got the first down every single time. 9-yard gain, 3-yard gain, 3-yard gain. But now we got 2nd and 10 here. Central Oak, boy, they don't want to see number 6 with the ball, and he's resting right now.
He is for the moment. Van Dyne takes the snap, handoff Tyler Bowden, and Bowden hit after he got about 2 yards, and Hunter Largent took all 345 and said, "Welcome to the turf." Gain of, we'll call it, 1.5 yards. It's 3rd and long, Ichabods.
Yeah, and if you're a Washburn fan, you're kind of thinking, man, we're kind of dominating. Obviously, you got an 81-yard touchdown in this third quarter, a 53-yard touchdown in this quarter. Do you feel like we're kind of dominating, yet it's an 8-point game?
Yeah.
I mean, Central Oaks, number 1 offense in the country. They've got 2 turnovers today, the second one leading to Washburn score that second touchdown in this half. So this is a game, if you're Washburn, you're like, man, this is how we played almost all year.
Trey Richardson in at wideout, and they have twins to the right with Cole Keller stacked in the slot. Van Dyne back to pass. The left-hander flush from the pocket, comes back, has Keller. Now it's off Keller's hands, and it's picked off. Picked off by the Broncos, and Dylan Buckheitz with his second interception of the year. And Van Dyne, boy, Mark, if he just settles down and throws that ball, it's an easy catch for Cole Keller. As it was a little behind him. He got his hand up, it glanced off, and Buckheit had an easy pick.
Yeah, and it's going to be a first down, too. And there's the difference probably between Van Dyne and Hurler. Hurler is used to throwing on the run. Van Dyne likes to be set. There, the left-hander rolls to the left, so he's going the right direction, you'd think, to throw it.
Mm-hmm.
He's throwing a little bit of back across his body to the 6'5" tight end, then threw it about 7 feet in the air, and he got a hand on it, which went right to the safety. Turnover number 1 for the Ichabods. Yeah. And now the Ichabods defense back on the field. Central Oak, what a turnover, their only possession this half.
Ichabods coming into the game -11 giveaway takeaway. They're plus today. Here's a handoff, and it is to Cottrell, the leading running back in the MIAA, and immediately taken down by the Ichabods, and L.J. Minner, the leading tackler for this Washburn defense, a gain of 3.
Yeah, needed 71 yards to get to 1,000 on the season, did Cottrell. But he's got 9 carries for only 26 yards today.
Huff, excuse me, slaps the hands. Now a flag late.
Might be a late hit on the quarterback there.
It's going to be a pass to Cottrell. And was it late, though? The officials are saying, yes, personal foul, late hit on the quarterback. So another big penalty on the Ichabods, Mark, and that is the third, again, sizable penalty against them. And just one that you have to stay away when you're leading in a game in a game that, again, you're the underdog. You can't make mistakes like that. Here's a free first down, and you give Jet Huff, a great quarterback in his sophomore year, just new life, and this offense new life.
And I like that route. Typically, running backs out of the backfield run to the flat. Mm-hmm. There he fakes going to the flat, and then he's cutting it back into the linebackers. Huff just threw it too hard. That's why it was incomplete, but it worked out.
Hand off to Cottrell, and Cottrell bundled up at the line of scrimmage and no gain. Again, just good pursuit. Andre Johnson was there for the Ichabods. C.J. Callahan was there for the Ichabods. Elijah Clark Boyd. Just a swarming defense today on that front line.
Yeah, and Terrell Davis has the 147-yard touchdown, but he's been kept in check most of this time.
Huff back to pass, and behind Jaden Gray, and L.J. Minner was there to make sure that pass was also going to be stopped for a quick gain. But, boy, that was not a great pass by Huff this time.
No, Gray coming kind of about 12 yards, maybe 10 yards from the line of scrimmage. Davis another 10 yards behind him. I thought that's where he was going to go. Then he threw to Gray, not a bad decision, but he threw it behind him.
Behind him, yeah. Of course, into the wind, that ball fluttered on him a little bit as well. Huff back to pass, 3 steps, settles in the pocket, now going to tuck it down and run, and the ball's popped free, and Washburn's got it. It's recovered by Jordan Fennessy. No, check that. It's recovered by the Ichabods' Campbell Haverkamp, a senior today out of Centralia, just a small school here in Kansas out of Corning, and of course that produced John Riggins. But it's Washburn football, another timeout on the field, and do we need to take it, guys? If you can tell me in my ear if I need to take this, do we need to take this timeout?
And that was Minter causing the fumble. Good run by Huff.
One more time, please. Okay, we will keep it here. 3:42 to go in the third, 21-13, yeah.
Good decision by Huff to run that. He had some pressure, steps up in the pocket. He sees nobody there. It's second down and 9 or 10.
But what did he not do?
And then he's trying to cut it back across, and Minter just raked the ball.
But where was the football?
He had it on his right arm, which Minter was coming from that direction, and just stripped him of the football. You would like to have slid it over to the left side so it wouldn't be so easy to strip it away. But that's really kind of the deal. That's 3 turnovers now on Central Oak. Huff's been stripped in the pocket and now running the ball, so he's got 2 fumbles. Then he's got the interception. that led to a Washburn score.
Yeah, so 21-13, Washburn has the lead now, the football. And so +2 today to the Ichabods?
Yeah, because they just had the one. Van Dyne just threw an interception.
Yeah.
The last possession
but
for
so
Washburn.
3 turnovers.
3-1, yeah.
Yeah, 3-1. And again, Washburn came in -11. Yeah. Central Oak came in +6. But
usually
again,
if you're leading the conference, you were going to be plus in the turnover margin.
You should be.
Yeah.
But the thing is, Mark, here again are the Ichabods. 18 minutes and 42 seconds from the end of the game.
They're warming up another quarterback. Wonder if Huff got hurt.
Yeah, I don't know. His arm.
His right arm is what got stripped of the football.
So Dawson Hurl, who's the backup, who has 15 of 25, 178 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick this year, is warming up. We'll check on the condition of Jet Huff. But here it's Washburn football, 1st and 10, Ichabods at their own 41. Van Dyne in shotgun, fakes the handoff to Otker, pumps, looks left, now comes back to the right, and he's got Maury Sullivan, and the ball flutters just a little bit, and Sullivan can't haul it in. Great defensive coverage by the Central Oklahoma Broncos, and J.K. Moore out of Mesquite, Texas, knocked it away.
Yeah, because that ball was right on the money to Sullivan, and Van Dyne had a lot of time. He was first looking for Richardson, not there, went to the other side, threw it down the field, all the way down to about the 10. But the defensive back he didn't have his back to it. Yeah. He just put his arms out, his left arm out right into when Sullivan went to catch. He just put his arms right there, off his arm, incomplete. So a nice defensive play there. That would have been another huge Washburn play.
Van Dyne in shotgun, 2nd and 10, pumps. Now he's going to tuck it and run. And Van Dyne is brought down right at about the 45-yard line. Tackle on the play by Connor Johnson, the 6'3 senior out of Broken Arrow, Oklahoma. 3-yard gain on 2nd down for Van Dyne.
So an opportunity. Central Oak's a little nervous at this point in the game. Like, well, our offense scores 48.8 points per game. We're going to be fine. They're kind of out of rhythm is what they are right now.
So Van Dyne is shotgun on 3rd and 7. Twins to the near sideline. Play clock is at 10. Washburn a little unsettled getting this set going. Motion from left to right. Shotgun snap back to Van Dyne. Has time in the pocket. Hit as he throws, and that made the ball go wide. It was intended for Tice Brown. It's incomplete, and punt time for the Ichabods.
Yeah, that was a good read. They had a safety blitz by Central Oklahoma. Picked up, though, by the back, so didn't get there. And then Van Dyne looking to his left and then threw to Brown on the out route. Would have been a 1st down, and he just missed him. It was a good read. Just missed the throw.
Jake Zeller on to punt. Back deep to receive for the Broncos, Kobe Stevens. Also back there is the wideout, Jacob Delso. And they stand at the 10-yard line. With the wind, end-over-end punt will hit at the 11 and check right out of bounds. It'll hop forward probably about the 12. Great punt by Zeller. No return. 1st and 10 Broncos. They'll officially mark them up to their 13.
Boy, and I tell you what, we're talking about the stats at the half. Neither team was running it very good. Washburn now has 95 yards rushing. Central Oak only has 56 yards rushing, and they're like the 16th ranked team, I think, in total, in the first in total offense, but 16th in the country in rushing the football. They 23 carries, only 56 yards. Washburn 21 for 95 yards. And then through the air, both quarterbacks have now thrown interceptions. But Washburn has over 377 yards. Is that right? He's had 81 and 53-yard touchdowns this half, though.
Dawson Hurl is in relief of Jet Huff. So we'll have to try and figure out what's going on with Huff. And Hurl's just going to carry it on the first play from scrimmage for him. Dawson Hurl, a senior out of Independence, Missouri, knows the MIAA well, transferred from the Lions of Missouri Southern in Joplin. He had 46 yards on 6 carries coming in, averaging right around 3 yards a carry, 2 touchdowns on the season, and he had about 3 yards on first down.
Good catch.
And he slings the ball to his right, and Ashton Schumann, the redshirt freshman out of Arlington, Texas, makes a great grab. It's 3rd and 3.
Yeah, that was a heck of a catch there. Kind of one-handed catch, 30 yards, 5 catches for Schumann. But that was a right money. The pass was right on the money, and then a one-handed catch by Schumann.
Ichabods make some changes on defense on 3rd and 3. Hurl slaps the hands. He's going to run it himself.
I don't think he got there. He's
close. Short of
nope, they give it to
the
him.
line to gain. They're going to give him the 23. And the officials say it's first down pickup for Dawson Hurl.
Yeah, that looked like he was going to be a little short, but then I went to the far official who's right on the yard line of where the box is, and he's going, it's first down. So, okay, there you go.
Trying to locate.
They don't measure those anymore.
No, they do not. I'm trying to locate Jet Huff, and he has got his helmet on and everything, but must have injured his right arm some way. Here's a pass to the near sideline, and it's caught. And weaving his way through traffic for the Broncos is William Mason, and the running back out of the backfield flaring to the right and has a nice gain on first down.
Yeah, picks up 9, second down and 1 for them. Mason, I don't think has he caught a ball out of the backfield? I think this is his first one.
Today, that would just
you look at Mason's the backup running back, Hurl's the backup quarterback. They've worked a lot together in practice. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Just the 4th reception of the year for William Mason. And Hurl going to catch it, fakes left, goes right, and he's got blockers, and he's going to stride out of bounds of the 42-yard line, pick up the first down. And Dawson Hurl saying, I'm ready to go, coach, put me in. And, boy, how confident a position it is for Adam Dorrell to have a senior backup like Hurl, who's been in the MIAA, backing up a guy who's really, really good in Jet Huff.
And you said came from Southern, right? Missouri Southern. We know Missouri Southern loves to use the quarterback run game. And the offense is kind of flipped now. It's quarterback run game has kind of been their go-to offensive play since Hurl's come into the game. He's 2 for 2 through the air for 14 yards, but he's run it 3 times for 15.
He'd only had 6 carries on the year coming into today. And here's William Mason, who gets the carry and knocked down on the play by Jordan Fennessy, the leading tackler or second leading tackler for the Ichabods. Safety comes up and makes the play, and that'll end the third quarter. After 3 quarters of play in Topeka, Kansas, it's the upstart Washburn Ichabods 21, the number 18. Your Stadium Moore Bowl over the decades. 21-13 Washburn as we begin the fourth quarter, and Dawson Hurl in relief of Jet Huff for the Broncos, and he flips a pass out to his right to Jacob Delso, and he makes the catch, gets whacked as he does it, and brought down quickly by DeAndre Washington, but a first down pickup for the Broncos.
14 yards. Hurl's going to run it, but Delso is out there wide open. He's like, give me the ball. He goes, yeah, I might as well give it to him.
And he took a shot after he did. Now Hurl's going to hand it off. William Mason, weaving through traffic, gets hit forward and
he picked up
a first down.
Yeah, he picks up 11. He's got 50 yards rushing now.
Daniel Chavez with the first contact for the Ichabods, and then Julius Jackson with the final tackle, but 11 yards for William Mason.
But interesting, Huff with the turnover, he's out. Cottrell's out. We haven't seen the starting quarterback or the starting tailback since that time. It's been Hurl and Mason.
Fake the handoff to Mason, and again, Delso marked just a little quick sit-down route and fired him the ball, and he got down. L.J. Minner on the coverage, but quick 7 yards.
Yeah, and I think, well, you got a senior quarterback. He's got experience. He's coming in. He's looking poised and making really good decisions, throwing it, and he's putting it on the money. And then he's obviously done a nice job running the ball, too.
Mason now flanked to his left. Tight end is left. Hurl back 3 steps, sets, pumps, now comes back. Boy, I think he thought the receiver was going to take it, and underneath Delso came, and I think he after he pumped, he thought he was going long, but check down route.
I think Terrell Davis is going to go. As he ran into Davis ran into the Washburn D tackle coming in, but he had tight coverage, made a little move. He was right down the seam. It was a touchdown.
But he was looking right the whole time.
Yeah, Hurl would have looked to the other side. That was a touchdown for Richardson, or for Davis.
Hurl sets the ball in motion and makes the throw. DeAndre Washington with the quick tackle on Christian Romero, the 6'4 junior wideout. Again, sitting down just past the sticks, makes the catch. First down, Broncos.
Yeah, great coverage. I mean, he threw it kind of waist high, and the receiver able to kind of protect the ball from the defender over his back. But another first down for the Broncos. Are now inside the 20, trailing by 8.
Dawson Hurl taking his time, gets the signal from the sideline.
And Cottrell's coming back in for the last couple plays.
He's in at the tailback spot. Hurl throws it to the near side flat. He has his receiver, Austin Schumann, and he is in for the touchdown. Broncos from 19 yards out, and an easy pitch and catch there from the senior quarterback to the redshirt freshman wide receiver.
Well, I tell you what, that was – and give Terrell Davis some credit for that.
Blocking,
He's down the field a little bit farther.
Line.
He's about at the goal line, and Schumann's about at the 8-yard line, catches it. So they were kind of thinking now, of course, we go for 2 to try to tie the game up, 12:47 to go, 21-19 Ichabod's. But that was what a drive by Hurl. Nice job by the backup. In
relief of Jet Huff. And Hurl's going to throw it, and wide open is Delso. Washburn, I'm not sure why they didn't cover him, but they didn't, and Hurl fired it to him, and it's a touchdown. 12:47 to go in the game. It's 21-21. We are tied, and here again, Mark, that makes it on the year that the Ichabods have been outscored in the fourth quarter. Now 92 to 27. Now
you got to give them 8, so make it 94 to 27.
Yeah.
But Jet Huff came out and congratulated the offense, and Hurl didn't look hurt at all. He's high-fiving people and slapping it. So it was just, I think Coach Dorrell said, I know you're great, but you've turned the ball over a little bit too much today. We need to give you a break. And
now
great job by Hurl.
No question. But there is Adam Dorrell, who is a veteran head coach, knowing I've got to.
He's only won 3 national championships.
As part of the staff, he was a part of it. But when he was the guy in charge, he won 3 back-to-back, in fact, as you talked about. But you were a part of a system that was a 3-quarterback system.
Yeah, that was 1983. Ichabod's the CSIC champions. I love my role. I just got to go into shotgun and throw it or give it to the All-American tailback we had. It was pretty easy. Jeff Leiker, the longtime coach down at Coffeyville and AD, he was one of those quarterbacks. We had another guy that ran option basically only. He would come in for All-American tailback. So Jeff and I were seniors, so we were, whatever. We'll have fun, so we'll be fine. A lot of it depends on your attitude, I think, when you're coming off the bench as a quarterback. Are you ready to go? And certainly Hurl was ready to go, getting that opportunity today.
Here's DJ Bell on the return, fakes the reverse, and now cuts back. And Bell will be taken down at about the 16-yard line. And
you wonder how much of a factor the winds still look like they're going pretty good. And Washburn, of course, this quarter going into the wind. Now, we saw most of the scoring. The first 3 were all into the wind drives.
Correct.
But it seems like this half, Washburn had 2 downwind. Now Central Oaks got 1 downwind. So I don't know. We interested to see, but we obviously know field goal when it's a tie game at 21. Washburn had a 35-yarder right before the half that never got past 8 yards before it was blocked.
Yeah.
So, it's a little different game right now.
Van Dyne in shotgun. 1st and 10, Washburn at their own 17. Here's Tyler Bowden. And Bowden spinning forward to about the 19, taken down first by Connor Johnson, and then a host of tacklers, including Noah West and Jack Puckett. So a gain of a couple on first down for the Ichabods.
And certainly Central Oaks defense gave up the 2 big plays, 81-yard pass to Richardson, 53-yard touchdown pass to Richardson. Now you get a backup quarterback comes in, leads your team for the drive and the 2-point to tie the game up. Defense looks like they're moving a little bit more aggressively than they were.
Here's Van Dyne in shotgun, fakes the handoff. No, he does give it to Bowden, and Bowden across the 20 to the 21. So a little bit of a conservative call here for the Ichabods into the wind. Tied at 21 all, under 12 to go, Mark, and now you put yourself in 3rd and medium.
Which is kind of what we've seen Washburn do over the years. Run for 2, 3rd and 6, and let's throw it. So we'll see. Now, they've had success getting it to the White House. Sullivan and Richardson have been really good. Brown has had some nice plays. Keller, the tight end's had a couple.
3rd and 6. Van Dyne looks to the sideline to see if the play's on or off. 10 seconds on the play clock. Snap a little to his right. Slings it to the near sideline, and
catch.
The reception is caught.
Catch it. Yeah.
It is Trey Richardson. The defender tried to say it was incomplete, but Cody Stevens could not dig that ball out. Great catch by Trey Richardson.
I think that's about 8 catches for only 194 yards.
Only.
But he's got 81 and 53 touchdowns this half. But that one, boy, great coverage. And then really good hands by Trey Richardson right there. Not just a speed guy. That was an in-traffic catch.
So Richardson, with his day, is almost over 1,000 yards on the year. Here's a handoff to Bowden. And Bowden has his way up to about the 34, gain of 5 on first down. So a good first down play here And now, Mark, with 2nd and 5, you really open yourselves up to more of the offense.
And Bowden had 5 carries for 15 yards in the first half. He's got 9 carries in this half for 45. They've been much better running the football, the Ichabods have, in this second half.
Well, and he's broken some tackles as well and helped his stats. Here's Van Dyne in shotgun. Motion from Searcy. And this time it is the Ichabods running it with Lucas Otker, more of a fullback type. And they're going to go – are they going to – no, I thought the forward progress was stopped basically near the line of scrimmage. They'll give the tackle yardage back to the 30. So now
and that would have been one – that's one that kind of is a read option play.
Right.
Hurley keeps that and runs. There was a lot of room for Van Dyne to run if he just would have kept it. Instead, he gave it, and that's kind of his mindset. I understand. He's a left-handed quarterback. His job's throw. He's not to run.
Spoken by a left-hander. Here's a snap back, 3rd and 9. Van Dyne to his right, and now he's going to tuck it, and he is popped out of bounds at the 33 and well short of the first down.
So Central Oak defense did what they wanted them to do, and that is come out on the field and get a stop. Central Oak was going to have the ball with 9.5 clock running here in the 4th, tied at 21. And we thought this would be more scores than this.
Yeah.
But we didn't think Central Oak was going to come in just because they're first in the conference at 6-1. Washburn's only got 2 conference wins, 2 wins on the year. We didn't think Central Oak would come in and bury him because Washburn has played everybody pretty good. Out of their 7 losses, probably could have won 5 if they just kept the lead in the 4th quarter.
Correct. Snap is back. And
it's
going to be a fake.